Hello. Today is day 58 of the 75-day Spirit Baby Devotional. And I am Jezreel. I am the Spirit Baby Auntie. I am a sacred birth worker, a full spectrum doula located in the Atlanta area. I am a Spirit Baby medium. And hey, I have a lot of cards that I pulled earlier. I'm just kind of cleaning up, clearing the energy. Clearing the energy, cleaning up. I just feel the energy of a humongous shift. And I've gotten to a point where I almost feel annoyed by that phrasing. And I'd go as far as to say that's the energy of self-sabotage, the energy of not believing in oneself and wanting to find something to doubt oneself. Wanting to find a reason to doubt myself kind of thing. And that's okay. But no, I do feel the energy of a big shift. The energy of greatness, like greatness. I was reflecting today, I was journaling today about a big energy. A bit about what I was talking about last night when it came to just the energy of being in communion with people and what it means to be in community. And I realized there's just so many moments of release in a day. And those moments tend to come up as emotional. Is that a stain? No, it's just like I was like the sunlight, the light on there, on the screen. I like that. But, because, it's like a little sun. But I did have the sun card right here, so. But moments to release usually come up as like emotional moments to really feel feelings for the fullest capacity. One of the things that I have carried with me when it comes to being in communication and in sisterhood is taking responsibility for the emotions of the person I'm in connection with. And I believe that does come from just having emotionally dysregulated parents and not realizing that, well, obviously it's my responsibility now to be mindful of that, like where I put my responsibility. And I've been feeling this energy of release today, of feeling it and intuitively knowing that I have to shake my body and move my body and allow the energy to move, because I am not responsible for any emotions that are flowing in anyone else's body. And I do have the capacity to hold space for if the way that I'm showing up in connection isn't feeling good to someone else. I feel as though I've gotten to a point where I wouldn't internalize that and I would just take accountability and really be with how to move forward. However, in the past, I remember feeling sick to my stomach when I thought I've upset someone, or feeling just this angst and needing to know that they're not upset with me, and realizing, one, that I am safe. I am safe. My connections are safe. I am a grown woman, and the people I connect with are emotionally mature adults, and they're emotionally responsible for themselves. And that I have to lean into what I was also talking about yesterday. Trusting them and their flow of themselves and how they move in the world. And when we connect, we do. And that's the faith in alignment, because alignment is the most important aspect of being, I suppose, especially being in flow and being on a divine mission, allowing yourself to, say, hey, I'm here. I am in attendance. I have perfect attendance of showing up to this class that is in this earth school that's one class away from, my divine mission. Like, I am moving in the direction of my divine soul purpose. I am in flow with my soul purpose. And those are emotions I had to feel in my body. Okay, camera. Yeah, come on. So, right before we started, I pulled a card just to be in the energy of what was coming up, or just what's present for me to really just speak on. And I pulled the Four of Cups. That's not the Four of Cups. This is, I pulled the Four of Cups, and it's making me think of being with one's real capacity, being with one's natural flow and natural capacity, and allowing that journey, allowing that gratitude, allowing that space to expand you more. Having gratitude for what you can hold in your natural flow of alignment. And this person is leaning up against a tree, and out of the air, there's a hand out of a cloud. The divine hands you more capacity, hands you expansion. So yesterday I referenced All Might in My Hero Academia, and in today's episode that I watched, because I didn't even, oh my gosh, today's episode, after he had reached a certain, after he reached his limit, he was getting all these flashbacks, or I would say he was communing with the ancestry that is the power that he has, that he holds, that he has passed on. And in that midst of it, she handed him, like, she said, and when you feel as though you have reached your limits, here is this gift. She just handed him something to take him even further, plus ultra, take him further than what his limit, what his flesh had said his limit was. And I think that's so beautiful. Yeah. I'm feeling into just needing to hug myself, needing to hug my inner child. So if you haven't hugged yourself today, please do. And reminding my inner child that for every moment that we feel as though we have to perform for love, that we are safe now and there's no need to perform. And it is safe to show up in the ability that you have. It is safe to show up with what you have as a person with feelings, as a person with a feeling body. I myself am very clairsentient, and I believe that's a big foundation to being a spirit baby medium for my individual journey. And I haven't always enjoyed it. I've felt very almost victimized by my body's ability to feel. Felt weighed down by my body's ability to feel, burdened by my body's ability to feel. And I've even felt overwhelmed by good feeling in my body. I've felt overwhelmed by pleasure flowing through my body, whether it's, physical pleasure or, energetic pleasure. There's always this self-sabotage nudge to think of the most unpleasurable aspect, think of the duality of the pleasure and have them both right there so I can lighten the blow of the good. And that just feels so sad. I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I'm laughing because it's like, wow, like it just feels sad. And it's a big feeling to feel, truthfully. To feel as though you have to dilute your pleasure, dilute your happiness, course correct when things are too good. Excuse me, big confirmation burp. I'm gonna believe in my own magic, but I'm gonna pull some believe in your own magic oracle and see what else comes out in this channel message, because it's a big aspect to moving forward as a person, especially when you're in community with other people. Being in connection with other people, there is nothing that you're just supposed to do. Like, if you make arrangements with people, definitely speak to them. But when it comes to who you show up as a person, you are just the magic. So how you show up naturally and flow is beautiful. Okay. So the first card that came out was Mirror. Treat your body like the palace it is. And then we have the Universe and Villain. This is what the Villain card looks like. You can always rewrite the story. Oh. And then the next one is Universe. We're all just stardust. And the last one, well, the first one that came out was Mirror. And it says, treat your body like the palace it is. I definitely want to read from the book for those. So we're just all stardust. When we're children, we can barely comprehend the vastness of our own lives, let alone the existence of other planets. It's not long before we learn we aren't the center of the universe. We are but specks of stardust in one of its many skies. However, we must all still do our part to take care of our individual worlds, or else it throws everything else off balance. Make sure to keep balance in your life, but don't forget the big picture stuff. Recycle, don't litter, and give thanks. And as I was reading that, it was making me think about, which part was it? It's not long before we learn we aren't the center of the universe. I didn't know that it was selfish to just automatically assume responsibility over someone else's feelings. And the reality of it is that everyone, including myself, including yourself, has their own day, their own flow of their day. And, you know, each moment has its own ricochet of energy that flows into your body. And it's a really big thinking to assume responsibility over someone's whole day. It's really self-absorbed to assume that you have that much of an impact on someone else's day. And I'm not saying that I know what someone else is experiencing. I'm saying for me as an individual, for anyone as an individual, it's not yours to think about in that way. And if anything, when it comes into chords, if you are fixating on that, then you're tugging on the energy itself. So it's one of those things where you assume responsibility over you. Give thanks that the person is on your mind. However, allow yourself to release them. Pray. Say out there having a beautiful day. I allow myself to be clear for any conversation that needs to be had between the two of them because I'm feeling something. And you allow yourself to be free. Like, you allow yourself to be a clear channel. Because if you're muddying up your own energy center, you're not allowing for the free flow of energy to come to you anyway. What's the next one? Rewrite the story. A hard truth to swallow. Sometimes our villains win. However, that doesn't mean you should give up or lose all hope. It just means that it's time to rewrite the story and keep going. It can be incredibly freeing and empowering to reclaim yourself after a personal tragedy. And the last one is mirror. You've been feeling self-conscious as of late, but the answer isn't to change anything about yourself. The answer is to learn to love the body you've been given. Avoid the crash diets, that extreme exercise, or any other unhealthy behavior. Take strides towards a healthy mindset and accept yourself as you are, not what you feel pressured to be. I felt called to pull one more card from the deck, and it's the Justice card. Witch. They say that whatever we do comes back to us the same times 3. If a person's intentions are well-meaning, then that good energy will come back to them in buckets. If a person's intentions are to do harm, then you get the picture here. Either way, the universe is getting ready to deliver its justice. This person might be you. If so, you should handle it with grace and learn from your mistakes. Otherwise, this most likely applies to someone who's caused harm to you or your loved ones. And the one next to it is feather, which is think before you judge. Did you lift? Okay, sorry, I just feel the energy to read it. Did you commit to lifting up one of your sisters only to drop her down into the blaze? Examine the situation. Is your judgment justified, or is society tricking you into your stance? After all, it does have a habit of making you believe that other girls are your competition and that they must behave perfectly at all times. Step back and take the time to figure it out. It's not always clear at first, instead of acting rashly. And yeah. When it comes to being in relationships with people, one of my biggest, I guess, fears that have come up is that they're talking about me in a negative way when I'm not there. And that goes into what I was also saying about not assuming responsibility over the way that people feel. Not being so hung up on someone else's life, and really remembering that you're at the seat of your life. You are in your world. This is your world. You are the creator. It is of your design. And energy is energy. It's always moving and in flow. And there's nothing that you can force. You are moving in alignment. And as long as you are showing up in love and in your fullest capacity of existence and your fullest expression of self, then what you receive, you should remain open to possibilities, any kind of possibilities, the kind that are just unknown to you, because you don't know everything. We are just all stardust. And what you receive in life, it can be really whimsical. You don't need to predict everything that you're going to receive in life. And yeah, the more I think about it, these are feeling like little notes for my child to hear me, to hear, because eventually even my son's gonna be on the interwebs and he might be really intrigued by who his mama is. And same goes for my daughter. Like, these are conversations to her, with her. Even my inner self, I go as far to say that too. If I myself am not called to have more babies in that way, then I honor that I am still learning from these messages. I am learning from these channels. My inner Ren, the nieces and nephews that I will love in this lifetime with my most authentic expression of self. Yeah. Being open to learning from the mysteriousness that is existing in this earthly school. Because there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn about self, and there's so much to learn in union with others, because you meet more of yourself, a different version of yourself that which you would never meet if you weren't in connection with someone else. Because you were only that version of you when you were in connection with that person, and it's really special. So yeah, remain open-minded. Change the story of how your connections are supposed to go, and embrace the newness that is new connections and new flow, because you just don't know what you don't know. And yeah. All right, that's the message. All right, so if you were looking for a doula and you are in the Atlanta area, hey, my name is Jezreel. My discovery call box is in the description box below. I have a free ebook as well down there called Held While You Bloom. It is a nurturing reminder of what it means to slow down and be with yourself, to unplug and be with yourself. And then lastly, if you would like to join the Spirit Baby Connect community on Facebook, you can click the link on in that description box. Come join us. Come share your Spirit Baby wisdom, your Spirit Baby Mama wisdom. Yeah, that's it. That's the message. I thought I had something else to say. I do not. Stay magical. So much love.